Okay, now we're ready to start the routine. What I want to point out first of all is that we need to observe certain things about the body so that we anticipate what we're getting into here. There are certain configurations that the body gets into that we need to know that will help us to determine where the imbalance is. And that's basically what we're doing here, is looking for imbalances. Homeostasis is a magic word. We're looking for homeostasis. We're looking for ease of activity. We're looking for balance. And when the body is out of balance, then there will be malfunction, and the malfunction will result in pain, mainly because all the vital organs in through here, again, have their own power supply. Each one of the organ and their power supply is going to be powering the organ system and the energy system in the body, so that each organ is wired in series with a number of muscles. The muscles serve as reserve tanks of energy for the vital organ system, so that when I'm finding a muscle that's either painful or sore, out of balance, or non-functional, because I know where the connection is, I can go to the vital organ here and find out that it's not functioning properly, it's under stress, something has happened to it. So I want to go through the body here, and I want to press on certain strategic points. I want to test the strength of certain muscles. That tells me what organ is or is not working on the inside of the body. That tells me where the imbalance is, and then it's the activity of the body prior to this that has resulted in the ache and pain profile. So the suggestions are going to be then to change behavior to reestablish balance. I mean, that's what we're getting into here. So the first thing that I want to do is check in the back of the neck. That's the first thing I do, is touch the back of the neck. So I would like for you to sit up for a second here so that I can show the good people watching here. On the back of the neck, you can feel the spinous processes of the cervical vertebrae in through here. And what I'm feeling for when I do this, I'm feeling for a protrusion or a projection of the spinous process, basically right around the second and third vertebrae right in through here. This tells me that there is going to be a problem in the innervation process in the digestive system. Okay, so come on back down again. And if I feel that, I don't feel that on this particular body, but if I did find that, I would know that there would be a digestion problem. So with a digestion problem, we're going to have malfunction of the system, because the food you put in here, it may be organic, it may be the best things on the planet, but if you cannot digest it, you're putting organic material in a warm, dark, moist place. It's going to stay there for a couple days. It will decompose. So your body must suspend the rotting process for a couple days until the enzymes inside here break the food down so that you can actually use it. So if I'm finding a low energy in the power circuit that drives the digestive system, I know I'm going to find some type of malfunction in the circuit someplace in the body. All right, so this is what I'm looking for first of all. And if I find this here, there's another issue that I'm going to look for, and that is the stomach. This tells me that there's low energy here in the stomach. I'm going to assume that there's a stomach problem. I'm going to use the pectoralis major muscle here as an indicator, and I want to test to see if this muscle is strong enough. So I want to push down this way. Don't let me do it, okay? Hold your arm real tight, push back against me, and that's pretty strong. Now, I want to use my computer mouse here to check different places on the body. So I'm going to test here for the stomach, and this one I want to hold tight again, and that one's holding. If I found a weakness here, I would assume that there's a difficulty with the stomach, and I'll be talking about that later as we go through. But this is just a preliminary assessment here. All right, so from here I want to show that the body is going to talk to us. It's going to tell us certain things just by looking at it. I want to see if the shoulders are out of alignment here. That would suggest that one muscle in the back, the latissimus dorsi muscle in the back, one is either tight, the other one is loose. But this one here seems to be fairly even. I want to go down and take a look at the feet here, because that's going to tell us a few things also. I want to first of all test the leg length. All right, so I want to look at the ankle bones here. I'm going to put the two ankle bones together, and they match here. If sometimes I had this, if you can see that right there, they're unbalanced. One ankle is higher than the other. Then I would look to see down here at the heels to see if they match. If the heels match and the ankles are out of match, that tells me that the calcaneus bone in here is a different size than the other one. Now, that can be a problem. Well, if everything else is in balance, the calcaneus bone is a different size, then you will be more than likely tripping because one leg is going to be longer than the other. All right, so this is one area it can be off. Now, since these are together here, I want to go up here. If it were off, let's put it this way, if it were off, I'm going to go up here and check to see if the pelvis is off. Because the attachment point for the femur bones here, your leg bones, are right in through here. And the sacrum and the pelvis are coming together in the back. So if you could see this as the sacrum and the ilium are together here, then these leg bones are attached here. So if the pelvis twists, notice that one leg is going to get longer and the other one will get shorter. It's a pivot. All right, so I'm going to test here to see if the legs are the same here in the pelvis. If they're the same here in the pelvis and they're out down here, that suggests that there is a difference here in the length of the legs from side to side. So it's not a pelvis problem, it may be a bone length problem. So I just tested the calcaneus bone to find there. Now I want to lift this up this way. And if you look at it here, these are even. If they're uneven like this, that would tell me that the tibia bone, one of the tibia bones, is longer than the other because the distance from the table up to here should be the same for both legs. If it's not, the difference in length is going to be here below the knees. So it's either the tibia bones or the calcaneus bones are the ones that are out of balance with each other. Then I can test at the knees here and at the hips here, and I can tell whether the femur bones are out of balance. So in this particular body, everything is balanced, so we can go from here. Let me point out also, there are going to be some bodies where you'll see the big toe bent over to the side like that, and you'll have bunions over here. And people will go to a podiatrist and have these bunions cut off and the toe straightened out again. But that's only palliative at the moment. This tells me right here that there is a weakness in the connective tissue and the muscles in through here that hold the toe straight. The connection here is with the large intestine. So when I see a toe over this way like that with a big bulge here, the bunion, I know there is a genetic defect in the large intestine, which is going to produce effects that will produce aches and pains in the low back and more than likely along the thighs into here. And you also may have some aches and pains here in the radial area here of the lower arms. Okay, now, if you find toes that scrunch up like this, and I'm talking about just laying naturally like this, if the toes scrunch up like this individual is walking very carefully through life, cautious, anticipatory, anxious. Okay, this then tells me that there is a stress on the kidney circuit. Okay, so the emotional profile of the individual you can see immediately, and that would help you to determine where the pressures are in this particular body causing the disturbance in the energy field was causing the aches and pains. All right, so this is just initial observation, and let's go through the process here now. What I want to do is start off with the neck area here because this tells me a lot about where the body is going. So I'm going to start off on this side over here. So if you want to jump around to the other side, I'll show you where I am going to begin. All right, now I turn the head to one side. There are acupuncture points here which are fairly important. You have one here immediately under the earlobe, which deals with thyroid and adrenals. This one right in through here deals with gallbladder circuit. And then the one right on the back underneath the occiput here is the urinary bladder circuit. Now remember that the urinary bladder is your first line of defense, energetically first line of defense in the body as far as energy is concerned. So if there is a problem with the bladder energy or the kidney energy, you're going to notice aches and pains right up and through here. If there is gallbladder difficulties, which is right in through here, you're more than likely going to find a problem right in this area here, which is the gallbladder 20 spot. The thing that you want to be careful of here, or at least mindful anyway, is that if there is stress on the gallbladder for a period of time, this pain up and through this area is the result of stress on that acupuncture point. Now, I did want to point something out, that the trigeminal nerve comes out of the skull right in through here. If this whole area here has been drained of energy, this area spasms. That's what causes the pain to start with, but it also is going to pinch the trigeminal nerve, which powers your whole face. Now, people have heard the term Bell's palsy. This is where it starts. It starts with the gallbladder problem, and most people are not aware of that. So if you have a problem with facial muscles or paralysis or something, and there is severe pain and discomfort back up in this area, you're also going to find aches and pains up in this area under the gallbladder, and it's going to go right to the back, right straight through here to the back side. More than likely, that's where it's going to start. So I just want to lay that groundwork for you here while you're going through. What you can do is use your thumb then to put pressure into the skull. Now, what I want to show you is that I have the head cradled in my palm so that my forearm here is resting up against the forehead. With this, I can move the head back and forth. I have control over it. This hand is going to slide up underneath so that my thumb is opposing my forearm over here. This means that all I need to do is lean over, and I have like a scissors action going on here. I can put the pressure on. I don't have to sit here and jab like a fencing artist at parry and thrust. I don't have to do that. I just have to lean over and put pressure on those major points, and I'm getting no response there, so that means that this is fairly pain-free in the moment. All right, so you can massage around this area to loosen it up, especially if you find painful areas here. This area in through here is a lymph drainage area. Now again, the lymph nodes are filters for the lymphatic system. The lymph is your gray water system in the body. So it carries the used material, the trash, the stuff that the cells excrete, and the lymphatic system takes it back to the blood system, which then runs it to the liver for filtering and to the kidneys for excretion. So this area in through here is the drain field for most of the head and activity. So if you take your thumb, your thenar evidence here, and drain that lymph from underneath the ear back down into the chest cavity, you want to help drain the extra lymph area here, because if you have any aches and pains up and through here, it's going to get stuck in the lymph system, and you just want to drain that. So this muscle back up and through here, you can see here is the upper trapezius muscle. This upper trapezius muscle gets its power from the same circuit that powers the kidneys. So you're going to get this muscle in